Yeah, hi. On this video, I've been watching Manny's videos about how the different facial features, eyes, gender, what do they call that? Gender mixing, I mean, where everybody's becoming, or rather, he believes that the reptilians are somehow changing the DNA so that males and females become in a closer realm. They may be doing it. I don't think they're doing it by any alien means. They have human beings out there, people that have voted in using different kind of plastics, vinyl chloride, chemicals, which literally act as estrogen mimicking molecules, poisons, fucking different antibiotics. They get in your body, like the plastic. They voted on the plastic out of something like the Congress. I think it was the Congress. Like 60 plastics that they were allowed to use. I think it was 69 actually, and they picked the one that had more estrogen mimicking molecules in it than any other. Now those people in Congress may have been under the influence of aliens. They're under the influence of aliens all the time anyhow. I've had personal experience with these beings. They try anybody that has any kind of has a high IQ, has some sort of talent or ability that could be useful to them for whatever purpose they're into. I've seen it all over. I can't tell by physical or anatomy, eyes, anything like that, whether a person is a reptilian. But the reptilians, these non-corporeal beings, they have no physical makeup whatsoever. They're from a dimension that is way finer than this one. It has to be a dimension where there is no gravity or less gravity, where, as I say, as a reptilian can pass through a wall, a ghost, a spirit. They're all one and the same. A demon passes through the wall. It's because its structure, its electromagnetic, is way finer. It's made, I don't even know what kind, I can say it's made of some kind of subatomic particles that can pass between the space, between atoms, between molecules. There's a little space, let's take for gold, for instance, is 33 molecules make up a gold, 33 atoms make up a gold molecule. Okay, there's space between every one of those all those atoms. And they are of a much finer, maybe a dimension where their structure is much smaller, finer than ours, and it just passed through the walls, anything. Even gold, an example. Just like they can go right through your body or try to stay in your body. Now, my mother she's passed away about 40 years ago. I'm eating a fucking pecan roll. I'm swearing to you because I've been smoking weed all day. Cannabis will prevent these beings from entering and staying in your body. They may enter and try to mess with you a little bit, but they can't stay. Something in the, I don't know if it's a THC, cannabinoids of some kind, it disagrees with them. Since they have no emotion, the only time they feel emotion is whenever they pick it up off of us, whenever they fuse. And somehow the cannabinoids prevent that. Now, my mom is Greek Turkish from Salonika. A gypsy, a Greek gypsy, or maybe even a Turkish gypsy. Yeah, some of those bloodlines. And my father's Cherokee. Why I'm telling you this is my mom, I don't know if you know, the gypsy culture is very into what you call, not necessarily the cult, because they're all Catholics. They're part of the Eastern Orthodox Church, so they're not into Satan or anything like that. I've never been into Satan. They're very much into seeing. And whenever he would give like a reading to someone, be a great deal, looking in their eyes. I guess this is something that's taught to them from when they're kids. She was born way back there around 1900. So she had it right from the horse's mouth back in the day. And she could just look at a person. She didn't think that it was reptilians or aliens or anything like that. She thought it was like evil spirits or some kind of entity, archons, best way to put it. Demons, jinn. Somebody walk in and want a reading, she could tell right away. When I was in like 16, 17, 18, she'd have me go over and give them the reading if they were too, if she thought they were too scary for her to do. And they're saying, well, why would you give it to you at that age? Well, I don't know. Evidently, they have a harder time inhabiting males than they do females. And what they want to do is, like, I believe this is my mind thinking of this, is close that gender, into more of a homogeneous state, where no one's purely male, testosterone driven, and want to bring us into estrogen driven kind of being. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. I was taught, and my dad's Cherokee. I was a member of the Native American Church for a while, quite a while, and I would go to the peyote meetings and was asked if I wanted to train to be a roadman. And I said okay, even though I probably wouldn't have done it. I don't like anything that. Well, actually, I didn't like the Navajo native languages. Are really hell to learn and really hell to listen to. I don't know if you've ever been in most people have never been into a ceremony, but you've heard on the net. You hear that for 8 or 10 hours from a ceremony that goes from dusk till dawn. It's pretty well cooked. You listen to it. They try to say all their prayers in native languages. Out here where I'm at right now, in the group that I was in, they're mostly Navajos. You can tune into the, if you're in Arizona or New Mexico, you can turn into the station up at Shiprock and listen to it, and you'll know what I mean. But I went all the way up to sitting at the altar with all the old characters because I was younger than most people there, and I listened to what they say. I did at the time. So we don't need to go on that anymore. I don't want to talk about fucking what we're doing. I'm talking about. And I was taught how to see these beings. It's after you've done it for a while, you can. It's not even something that you have to look for. It's just a sense. You can feel them. The way they talk, the way it seems like everything they do in an inhabited person is try to suck you into some kind of scenario, something that they want you to do, and you're going to end up, if you either don't do it, or if you do it, you're going to end up pretty messed up. I've had him go right through my body. I've had him come in me. and hey, they don't have, you don't have to, they don't stay there if you don't want them there. The people that get them inside them and they don't leave is they have something to offer. They give the people an ability to somehow, I won't say it's hypnotism because more than that, use the people where to like give you an emotion. Okay, if you say, well, I want this money and I want to be there, I want this gal, then they'll feed your lust for a woman. They'll feed it until you feel really, you'll be dreaming about her. And this isn't just natural human instinct or whatever. You'll be dreaming about her. You'll be thinking about her all the time. You'll be almost obsessed with her. And that's pretty fucking common, And then the person who is being asked or being directed in this way, how do I explain this? I'm not used to talking about this shit. I've never talked about it before in this manner of actually personal experience. Okay, they'll give you the energy, or at least you think you have the energy to get this woman or get money or whatever you want. Actually, you're not. They actually are possessing. They'll send someone to you. Let's say you see this gal walking down the street and you just become obsessed by her. I've seen that happen with a lot of guys. I've been all around, They'll become obsessed with her. God, that gal. They'll find out where she lives. They'll find out who she is. And whether they don't even know it. This woman may be a witch. She may be a Satanist. She may be inhabited by one of these creatures that has sent her to take you. When I mean take you is to take you over. That's one of the chief things at the lower level, like the level we're at now, is to set you up so they can suck you into their deal, and take you over and use you as a tool to gain whatever they want. A lot of these people, like the ISIS guys and all that, they are filled with meth. Meth is the big thing over there. I saw a video where I don't know if it was Interpol or what, where maybe must be actually crates, big crates, 2 foot by 2 foot, filled with bags of methamphetamines, and they're not the regular kind of methamphetamines that you get here or on the street, crystal meth, your diet pills, whatever they're making here out of epinephrine. They have some kind of amphetamines over there that they make out of something else, or else they chew a drug called cat, which is something like it. Originally, it was the same stuff that they use on these bath salts. The original bath salts were made out of the same chemical structure as the extract made from cat. Look it up in the book. There's only, I believe, 2 illegal plants to grow in your yard here. One of them is coke. One of them is cat, the plant I'm talking about. What was the other one? I can't remember now. Let's see here. I had it on the tip of my tongue before. It's not opium. You can grow opium in your yard. You can have it out there as long as you don't cut the pods and drain. If they come by and they see the opium poppies growing in your front yard, because you used to drive around in the old parts of Los Angeles, anywhere, over the West Coast. That's where I've seen it, because I lived on the West Coast most of my life. You could see in some old person's house, they would have you go there, some elderly person, and they'd have these opium poppy pods growing in their front yard, in their backyard, behind the fence, in some of these barrio areas where there was old Mexican folk, that come over here in the 50s or whatever, and they just planted everything like they wanted to back in Mexico. And they take these pods open and take the seeds out and roast them, and then use them as garnishes, poppy seeds. All the poppy seeds you get, like in a store or on your bagels, they all have a certain degree of alkaloids in them, just like the opium would have. It actually has. There's 3 different components in the opium that make up the morphine molecule that would make up heroin even. There's morphine. There's norepinephrine. I don't know. Something, I've read it, make up the heroin. Okay, we don't need to go to that anymore. But like I was saying, those ISIS people over there are chock full of this amphetamine that may not even be an amphetamine. It's as bath salts. It's illegal everywhere. Same stuff in bath salts. I could look up the name of the chemical, but I'm not going to. You don't need to know. You could probably look it up on the net. The original bath salt. Ketamine was the original name of it. Ketamine, and then it became metro... fucking, I don't know what. Some kind of shit. And they're sucking this stuff down every day. It's very hallucinogenic. They take that stuff, and amphetamines change the frequency of the brain, especially after not sleeping for several days. You would think it slowed down the brain. It slows down your normal senses, like trying to give a lecture or talking or just doing anything sane. That may be cut off. You come in a delusional dream state. They have the ability, well, what it does, you come in that state, your brainwave patterns are changed. Now, it's more akin to their frequency. These Arabs do it. You can say, well, Muslims are allowed to take drugs. Yeah, but when they say they're using it for a purpose to stay up so they can do the will of Allah more thoroughly, by staying up for days killing people. It's the word for that is it's rationalized by the mullahs and all these people, all the leaders, whatever, It's not illegal over there to manufacture it. I think the video I saw, they were caught by Interpol in the, the Mediterranean. Okay, ISIS is, those people there are sucking this stuff down. It's changed the frequency of their brain to more of a psychotic state. They've lost their grip on normal reality. And when the reality and frequency from these beings is interjected to their brain, they don't have any stop on it. In the state we are in our normal waking life, our brain filters that out. They lose the filters. We lose the filters. Humans lose the filters. And it's able to go into them. Okay, my freaking computer is being redirected. You'll find that anytime you talk about this type of thing, your computer will start doing very odd things, especially if it's true. Okay, I'm having something downloaded into my computer, which I shouldn't even have on there. I didn't ask for it, it's not part of the program. I'm going to try to get rid of it while I'm talking. I don't even know if I'm being recorded right now onto the chip in the computer. Well, that's obviously wrong because I don't have a solid-state computer. I got an 8-year-old computer. It's going on the hard drive. Okay. For all intent and purpose, visually, it's been eradicated, but in reality, it's not eradicated at all. Something being downloaded, and someone else is listening to me too. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. And also when a person is taken to extreme heights of emotion, and with these large amounts of adrenaline, and let's see, another chemical structure. Let me think what it is. I haven't really studied this in a long freaking time. Okay, endomorphine is stuff the brain produces opiate, or rather, I can't think of the name right now. I'm getting old and senile. I'm not getting senile, but I think you lose your memory a little bit as you get older, and when you smoke weed all day, every day. Okay, we'll go on to the next thing. Okay, when people are psychotic or driven to a state where they've been up for days, emotion has been injected into them. Like when people are just sitting around whining, they want to be something so bad, I'd like to be president, They dwell on this all the time to the point where they're fixated on being something, It's like Obama's father was a communist sent here by the Russians. He actually was in league with them, It wasn't just a thing that he was a Marxist. You can look up on the net. You can find out who he is. His mother was a whore and did porno movies. He was, I don't know where really he was born at. I know he was raised in Honolulu when he was like 12 or something. I don't know. It's easy to find out. All the information is out there. It's at Congress, and the majority of people in Congress and in all the legislative houses have already been manipulated and taken over to some degree by these jinn, aliens, demons, archons, whatever you want to call them. You can see by looking at Obama, at least I can see just by looking at him, even on tape and everything here on the computer, that there's nothing there inside of him. There's nothing that comes from him. And in the environment that he was raised in, these beings were probably running loose in the household. And when someone is sent directly to spy and subvert, subversion is not a human trait. Subversion and manipulation. Humans are basically honest. We had to be taught, like when you're in school, your mother says, hey, you can't see those people over there, though. You hurt their feelings. Well, originally humans just said what they had to say. That's it, Hey, what are you doing that stupid shit over there for? And that was it. And if they didn't like it, well, they could go somewhere else, Or pick up the nearest rock and throw it at you. Humans really, by nature, aren't even violent. Now, this is going to be a long video. I probably won't have very many people listen to it because they did it to you too, Manny. They put all your videos on pages. Okay, let's say I haven't made videos in about a year and a half, really, to any great number. I make them every day. They put you in a place on the YouTube where nobody is going to see you that is interested in what we're talking about the invasion, or rather not invasion, but occupation of the planet. You get on a page where everybody there on the page is cooking, is a cooking shows, you know, I mean, showing you how to cook stuff. Or something so scientific that it's become a cult, a religion. And you don't ever get seen. Oh, that's what happened here. I used to have hundreds of videos up. I mean, like 500 videos. I had subscribers, like 500 subscribers. I'm not even trying. I even was on a radio show in New York. I would call him by phone with another brother of mine, another friend. And I would get like 10 subscribers a day. But I don't anymore. You get no coverage whatsoever from YouTube as a platform because all of your videos are put in a hole, or else you're have other people on the YouTube, or I'm not going to say shills. I don't know if there's any paid shills. I've been called a shill because I disagree on some things. All I know is what we give is our own personal view and what we've seen. So if I've gone to college and I see this and it appears to be right, doesn't mean I'm a shill because I believe something. Okay, enough of that. No, you can be taught. I learned this when I was maybe 18, 20. There's a certain way to focus your third eye where you no longer are using it to receive energy. The people that do channeling, they're channeling these beings. But in other words, they're going into this meditative state, they call it, where they're giving away their whole, everything that it makes up them as a person are being put aside. All the empirical views that you have about things, well, the law of thermodynamics, this doesn't work this way, you know, prove to me. We are meditating and supposedly receiving some kind of, what they always trying to call ascension. You know, this thing is fucking ascension, like the New Agers, or if somebody talks about ascension, they're saying leave your ability to keep you from being taken by aliens of one sort or another, whether it be reptilians or anything else. I mean, open your whole head up, let them in, get all of this information they're going to download to you. And what happens to the people that believe that in meditation, they don't ask no questions to these beings. It's like, hey, who are you? What do you really want? Where are you from? You know, all this crap. Or they'll get some kind of a bozo answer. And they just take it, you know. Oh, yeah, we're here to help mankind. Well, how the fuck are you going to do that? Now, they're no better than you are. They're just another kind of energy source. Another, at least going by their, what the New Agers are saying. The same with Christians. I've seen these people speaking in tongues. If you have any ability and learn to focus, you can see just by, okay, I'll tell you one example. I was at a church called the Vineyard Church, and I got pretty famous. They were up there with Chuck, you know who this guy Chuck is, with Calvary Chapel. These people were all, Chuck Smith, that was who he was. He was just into money, you know, that was his deal, you know. He had run off to Ensenada once with $1 million that he had taken out of that Calvary Chapel bullshit. And that I believe at one time they were affiliated. I don't know whether it wasn't Narconon. It was some other thing where they would take kids off the street or young people that were addicted to narcotics and supposedly break them into narcotics, but it was all just a scam to make money. They were affiliated with the government. I think they even that MK Ultra or that crap was they had something to do with it. All I know is that the CIA, the government, had something to do with it. And then this Vineyard Church was a break off from it. I was living in Orange County, same place where Chuck Smith was, and they were they had got me to go over there. Basically, I met a gal, a little young gal that was a model, and she got me to go over there, and I'd gone over there several times, more than several times, because she was pretty hot looking. There's something going on with my computer now. Okay, she was hot looking, and I try to suck you into that stuff, you know, but when I got in there, okay, the crux of the story is, I went in there, they did their Vineyard Church thing. People who hear this that are born-again Christians are going to tweak on this. They started doing their thing, these people jumping up and down and doing their Holy Spirit deal. And I don't believe or will ever believe that there was any Holy Spirit involved in it whatsoever. I had noticed as soon as they started speaking in tongues, this yellow mist came in, and it was like on the floor about, I don't know, 2-3 feet high, and just a sickening hepatitis yellow was the aura of these people speaking in tongues. And I said, well, the hell with this, I ain't staying around here. I mean, even this little gal's sexual parts weren't worth going to this church. The same as that, what's the one, the guy had the church, the Crystal Cathedral. He was down off of, let's see, he was over by Avery Parkway and by the Camino Capistrano. He had rented the old, what do you call it, the Boy Scout camp. There was a Boy Scout camp. There was a big facility donated to him by, I believe, the O'Neills that owned like 390 acres of land from the coast in Newport all the way to Riverside County. Across the mountains there. Originally they had Camp Pendleton belonged to them. That whole big area there was even more acreage. The government wanted that during World War II, and they traded land, federal land that they had on this side of the, on the north side of San Diego County, of that area, closer to LA. Okay, well those were the people there. I knew the O'Neills. I worked on their house is what I did. I had a roofing company in Laguna Niguel. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. What were we talking about? I got off on a tangent there. Okay. Oh, about the Chuck Smith, the Calvary Chapel, the Vineyard Church. I had even gone on I had a business deal that I had worked out with somebody I had met there. I was a contractor at the time. I was a roofing contractor, and I was just getting my general's license, and I was, what else was I doing? I was studying to get a engineering license, a structural engineer, so I could engineer roof spans, make changes in structural supports and all that crap. I didn't want to become an architect or any shit like that. I just wanted to be able to save $200 for an hour's work by an engineer to come out. This is the first time I'm talking to you guys like this. I hope somebody freaking listens to this. Okay, I was cheated out of 40,000 bucks. I had lost my. They wouldn't renew my license because of a tax problem and a suit that was against me. So I didn't have a license, and I had done a house in Newport Beach. I had used a license of a, I had taught the fellow how to do different kinds of jobs that he didn't know how to do. He was a churchgoer. He's one of the people that, at the church that I met. And I was going to put my job, a job I had through his license. He was a junior pastor at the Vineyard Church. Matter of fact, I used to see some of those guys that were from that place. They were out and out, freaking many they were shills. They were shills for the freaking aliens. And he got. Okay, this one job was $40,000, and I would have got a bunch more jobs out of it too. I had even gotten the job to begin with off of my father, who had a business in the area. He had turned me on to this job to do. Now, and I was going to help him pay, I was screwed. Everybody in that, not everybody, all the hierarchy people that I knew and came across in the Calvary Chapel, in the Vineyard Church, were all freaking just there for the money, that were actually set into that reality just in order to fuck people. And to give them a worship, where they would give themselves over totally to what they thought was the Holy Spirit. And it was just another alien ruse. Another scenario that the aliens put in. The reptilians, that you call them. What do you want? And I know you have a lot of Christians. I don't think I have a lot even. I don't think my video will get 50 views unless some of you pick it up and put it on your channels. Manny, I'm hoping you put it up there. Anybody out there is listening to this and hears it, send a word to Manny, and so he'll watch it and put it up. I've said things that some of the things he has done is wrong, but he knows enough. He's woke me up on things. I never thought about how rockets don't work in 0 G and no atmosphere. They don't work. You can't send a rocket to Mars. That's nonsense. And Manny woke me up to that. I said, oh my God. Manny is like, taught me a bunch of things all in a couple of videos, and I never even realized. I've seen every video he does. I really like the guy, but he's come out after me like I was the fucking devil himself. If you anybody listen to this, pass it on to Manny if you're one of his people. I mean, my views on things have changed they're very fluid. I see Manny's views have changed a great deal since I started listening to his videos. Like his belief in the in Van Tassel has changed dramatically, and that's just it. That's all. That's the way it is. People change. People learn different things. Not everybody out there is a shill. Now, I'm going to have to cut this off and do another video because a lot of people aren't going to want to listen to a 45-minute video told by a old fucking dude here on the video here, whatever. So, I will skip over and I'll put this video in the computer. I will make another one right now since I feel like putting these up. Okay, thank you.